Have I got some pretty awesome games for you guys. So, just jumped on for a little bit. It's New Year's Eve, right now 11:03. I'm gonna have try to get these two videos done. Go through these four games first, and then the second video, keep an eye out, is going to be against Shugs. It's just a goofy game. I definitely made misplays, didn't play the best, but I wanted to goof around a little bit. So, we're playing against Warless first. And you'll notice, alright, so this is the only one with Sidisi in this series. The others are with Krenko. But I see this sweet opening hand of turn 2 standstill into tap land. Playing against Karlov, so I decided to go for it. Here with land Soulmender, don't even care about that. I'm going to standstill into Opulent Palace. They gain life, and then crack the standstill to play Karlov, and they already used Soulmender. I don't think they knew what they were doing this game at all. After seeing this play, I would love to pick up some cards, get my next land. I'm going to deploy Sidisi here, try to get some value. I hit Sakura Tri-Belter, so I get a zombie. Karlov comes down, get some counters. Mother of Runes resolves. No land, though. So this turn, I'm going to lead with, I think for a sec, I go for the throat on Karlov. I just want to make a little bit of tempo play. I saw that land didn't come down, so it's a very good tempo play, killing the Karlov there. Even though it loses me a card, it gets me so much value. It also allows Sidisi to start attacking because they had a 4/4. So Sidisi gets in, I hit Glenalandra, get another zombie. I'm going to play my Estuary, play Llanowar Elves, and duress them. They vamp in response, I assume for some mana source. I see Anguish Unmaking, Vindicate, Orzhov Charm, there you go. Bounce creature you own, and all auras on it. Destroy creature, you use life equal toughness. Return target creature CMC 1 from graveyard battlefield. And Gift of Orzhova, bad card in my opinion, but amazing art by Johannes Voss. So I'm going to take I took the Anguish Unmaking because it's in speed. I'd rather them have Vindicate, which is sorcery speed. The life doesn't matter, the land kill doesn't matter because I already have my mana developed. So they got a Soul Ring, so that's what they must have tutored for. And I don't like that. I would have tutored for Crypt there. Honestly, you're playing a life gain deck. Life is a resource, and it's not one that you actually care about in the deck. I pick up Entomb, which is absolutely fantastic in this hand. I crash in. They don't do the Mom block and tap before damage. Presumably to play around removal on Mom, which is probably correct. I mean, it's not like they're killing Sidisi with like if Mom's a 3/3 or something. So I'm gonna play Survival and just have up 4 green this turn. Plan on using Entomb next turn. They get a land off the top, pretty useful. So Karlov comes back down, they gain some more life, get a 4/4 blocker, but I still know their entire hand at this point, which is why I'm leaving this up here. My opponent, so I Survival into Trigon Predator, bin that into Acidic Slime, bin that into Deranged Hermit, and bin that into Sidisi. Bin Sidisi into Sower. I drew Rex Age for the turn. So I'm going to Entomb, get my Dread Return, the best Entomb target in this deck, I think, so far. I'm going to think for a sec, and I'm going to Dread Return Sidisi. I'm going to use Sidisi to exploit herself and go get Victimize. I'm going to bin the Rex Sage, going to get Dryad Arbor because I haven't played a land yet for turn. Play Dryad Arbor because it's a free creature. Victimize Dryad Arbor away to get Rex Sage, Acidic Slime, Rex Sage killing Soul Ring, Acidic Slime killing his planes, cutting him off of 3 mana and one of his 2 colors, all in 1 round. Unfortunately, I can't Sower the Karlov, but that play felt very good there. And if I was a little smarter, I would have seen it a turn earlier and not, or 1 earlier, would have had an extra tutor and not had to go get this Trigon Predator, meaning I would have had 1 more creature in my hand, I believe. Or I would have been able to bin something better than Trigon Predator. So I'm going to upkeep Mystical for Temporal, cast Temporal, and my opponent scoops the turn, and I did that because they crashed in with Karlov. Far from an overgame, but my plan here was to Temporal Manipulation into Crash with Sidisi. I think I was not going to hit a zombie. Sower back the victimize, or regrowth back victimize away the Rex Sage to get Sidisi and probably Deranged Hermit because it's the most power on board. Sidisi exploit Deranged Hermit, so I get to keep Sidisi around for opposition, and then the game would be over because I would opposition their entire board with the squirrels gained from Deranged Hermit. So overall, it was a nice quick game, good warm up. Next game is going to be Mr. Whaley, and this is Krenko. I'm going to go through this. I'm going to try to go through this quickly. I see this tempting hand. I'm going to go for it. Don't need graveyards open anymore. I see a potential turn 3 Wheel of Fortune. It's not really fast, but I have 2 1-drops, which is what goblins like to have. I have Mog Fanatic. My opponent goes with Hardened Scales, so I immediately know it's not the competitive Atraxa list with Hardened Scales, because it's neither Super Friends nor Stacks. And you see this card, and it immediately tells me he's the third. He's not even in the top 2 archetypes for the deck, in my opinion, at this point. The 2 basics also give away. Still lacking white mana also. I got the 3rd land. I pick a Pile Driver though. Decide to go for Pile Driver instead of the Wheel of Fortune. I just want to get more board. Pile Driver also can attack through Atraxa, potentially, if that comes down next turn, so it keeps my damage clock rolling. My opponent goes with a black land. They would have needed a filter. Go for Astral Cornucopia. So, pretty good with Atraxa. I mean, I guess it proliferates up, starts to produce extra mana. I get a map. I'm just gonna wheel the hand away. Get land, Spirit Guide. Don't have any targets for Sting Scourger, so I'm gonna just sandbag the Spirit Guide and play the Signal Pest. Crash in for damage. There we go. Down to 30. Scavenging Ooze and Mana Gorter Hydra. Well, that's pretty good. So, I think for a sec, I'm going to cycle Gem Palm Incinerator to kill the Scavenging Ooze. Even if they somehow had mana, there's no way that they can, or 1 mana, I wasn't sure if they would, but kill the Scavenging Ooze. I don't want that getting out of hand. It also blocks my creatures. I'm going to cast a thing, and then I realize Mana Gorger Hydra is on cast, not on creature ETB, so I'm going to use the Mog Fanatic to kill Mana Gorger Hydra before it gets out of hand. Just 1 more utility of Mog Fanatic. It attacked for 2 damage, and it killed a creature over the course of the game. Get a Mog War Marshal, and I'm going to use Goblin Slider to pump the Pile Driver by sacking the War Marshal, because it's not going to get a turn to attack anyway. I wouldn't pay upkeep on it, so might as well get the Goblin into play, right? Crash in for some damage. Put my opponent down to 23. My opponent goes with Flaying Tendrils. All creatures get -2/-2, and you would think this is a good card if I didn't have Goblin Slider. So I'm going to sack some creatures away, and I decide to save Pile Driver by sacking 1 creature, and save Signal Pest here. I decided to save Signal Pest over the Goblin Slider. Oh, sorry, I couldn't save Goblin Slider, because it requires you to sack a Goblin, but you can pump any creature, and I couldn't sack Signal Pest to protect Goblin Slider. I need to sack Goblin Slider to protect Signal Pest. So, I'm forced to save my best Goblin and the other creature, but might as well. Pick up Lightning Greaves, which is just insane with this Warren Instigator in my hand, which I'm going to slam down, Warren Instigator into Lightning Greaves, crash in, and my opponent scoops it up. I looked at what I was going to get off the Ringleader, which I would have naturally put down first, and it was going to be Siege Gang Commander. Would have been the put down, I believe. So, a nice quick Goblins game, and that's sort of why I like playing Krenko every now and then. He's by nowhere near as strong as some of my other decks, but the games go quick, and that's what's nice about him. I was just on this roll of winning dice rolls as well. Insane with the deck. I see turn 1 Goblin Recruiter. Well, let's go for it. I'm going to pop out the revealed section because that's going to be relevant. And let me bring it up here for you. I'm going to go turn 1 Recruiter. Get some stuff. Oh yeah, I have to click through every single one, don't I? I think I get like 10 goblins here. Yeah. So I stack them into the library, and you'll see as they come up. I get Ringleader, and I'm afraid of Shatter. Sorry, my opponent is playing Xenagos, God of Revels. I'm afraid of Shatter effects, so I want to play the Ringleader first before I lose this Mana Crypt and the potential to actually play this and get value. And then it would take forever to dig through this Goblin pile to get a 4th mana, or I would have to play Sword of the Animist over 2 turns to shuffle the pile away. So I'm going to Ringleader, get Matron's the emergency out button that I usually put in these piles, especially with a Recruiter, because Matron can shuffle the whole pile away if I need to try to start hitting lands for some reason. So she's almost always in the flip with Goblin Ringleader, or I could get the Skirk Prospector, which is sack a Goblin for red mana. I'm going to crash in for damage. He doesn't take the trade. Wise decision. Farhaven Elf, getting him a forest. I pick up Goblin King, which is one of the better ones that I decided to get because I'm playing against a guy with mountains. Crash in with Mountain Walk, and he doesn't block. He realizes later on that my goblins had to get Mountain Walk. He didn't realize it during the course of this game. Xenagos, the Reveler, in the God of Revels deck. Pick up the Sensation Gorger, which is the final way out of the pile. I'm going to dismiss these. Sensation Gorger is always stacked with 3 goblins beneath it, so that way I can kinship into those goblins if I want to. I'm going to get him with the Ringleader, and I forgot to attack with the Goblin War Marshal, not that it matters here. Because you will see how good this starts to get. It goes with Yavi Elder. I pick up Reckless Bushwhacker, so I'm going to play Warren Instigator into Reckless Bushwhacker, equip the War Chief, and that was a mistake. I should have equipped the Ringleader. I don't mind using it, but if my opponent wants to deny me the trigger by killing a creature, I want them to kill my bad creatures, not my good creatures, especially when their damage is the same. Crash him with everything. Remember to do my thing. I'm going to put in Goblin Chieftain first, because this is first strike damage and then regular damage. So I dealt 2 damage, and then my entire team got pumped before they dealt damage. Pretty cool tech between these this interaction here. Then my team hit my opponent down to 10. I put in Sensation Gorger, planning to wheel the hands away. My opponent concedes the game, forgetting that I had so much Mountain Walk. So that's that game. Let me bring into the next one. Let's close that. Close that. Trigunner. This is the final game here. Another dice win. Pretty satisfying. I see a hand that's a little iffy, but I have the Mask of Memory to clear it out. My opponent's playing Kazuul, Tyrant of the Cliffs. So I'm definitely going to lead turn 1 Frenzy Goblin, and I just have to kill them before Kazuul comes down, or find a way to kill Kazuul, because there's no way I can attack through that. And pay mana. I'm an army deck. I'm not a Voltron deck. So I'm going to crash with Frenzy Goblin. My opponent, F6, their turn 2. I imagine that they accidentally clicked F6 because it went straight to their cleanup step. And they had pitched Grab the Reins, so that's fine. Interesting card, for sure. I would love to pick up some things. I ditched the Gauntlet of Power because it's honestly not that great of a card here, especially when my opponent's also playing mono red. Excuse my phone texts. My opponent goes with Ring of Valkus, which makes me... They either had land or Ring of Valkus. Maybe they were short on land. I can't imagine one hand they keep without more than one hand, without 2 or more lands. I would love to get rid of this relic from my hand, and just like that, Mask of Memories has fixed my draw. I get the Simian Spirit Guide. I'm not going to play it yet, though. Gonna go with the Goblin Chieftain. My opponent was a great sport this match. I decided to play Krenko, tap Krenko, because I have Haste, which is the most broken ability in this deck by far. Anthem Haste. Crash him with the team. Drop my opponent down to 17. Pitch the Tinkerer because I got Goblin Vandal, which costs less and doesn't die. It just doesn't deal damage. Play a land and play Surgeon, just in case they somehow have a way to destroy my creatures, like Chain Reaction, red damage spell that deals damage to each creature equal to the number of creatures on the battlefield. I could sack away half my board, 7 goblins and 4, 11. I could sack away 6 of my goblins to keep the other 5 creatures alive, potentially. So it's something. Basically guarantees that Krenko taps for a game next turn, if they can't remove Krenko without damage, which red can't do very easily. They go with a Solemn Simulacrum. That is totally fine by me. I go with the Pile Driver, tap Krenko, make a ton of dudes into Goblin Bombardment, bombard the Simulacrum away. Even though I could have just used the Frenzy Goblin, played the Mog Fanatic for an extra 4 points of damage, 4, 5, 6 points of damage. That would have been way better, now that I think about it. I could have played that and used his ability to prevent the Sam from blocking. Crash in, and Goblin Pile Driver attacks as a 42/3 with Pro Blue. Feels good, -64, and that is the end of my Goblin games that I played today. Check out the next video that'll be coming up in a sec against Shugs. And that was a very good game, but I wanted to put it on its own video. Just, it's a little bit longer. It's not one of these quick style games. Alright, see you then. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my channel if you like what you see. Don't forget, and comment down below for any misplays, anything else you would like to see in my videos, or just let me know that you're enjoying them. I always appreciate hearing it. Alright, bye now.